Well, what we're doing for breakfast today is trying to use up the remaining breakfast from yesterday. We have some things that John nibbled on just to make sure quality control, you know. And then the Raisin Bran fits perfectly in our little coffee cups. Then we're checking out what's happening today. There's a production show called Saturday Night Fever, which should be fun. And we're going to Sabor tonight. So not a lot happening, but we will show you everything we get into before we get off the ship tomorrow. And I think we're just floating off of Florida. And once it becomes evening and they want to get out of international waters, maybe even morning, then they'll kick the engine on and take us back the direction we want to go. But for now, we drift. It's about 10:30 and it's a gorgeous sunny day out. I think our patter said it will be around 77 today, but the pool is so cold, we're not going to be getting in it. So I am wearing jeans and like a light sweater type thing. John is going in his psychedelic shirt. He can't see red very well, so he didn't realize how psychedelic this shirt was, but he still wanted to bring it. And then we saw another guy wearing the exact same shirt on this cruise. I don't know how in the hell someone else owns that shirt, because I thought it must have come from the 70s. Anyway, it apparently is in circulation. We have tidied up our room a bit, and last night, well, yesterday when we got back on the ship from Coco Cay around 3:30, we both took showers, and our shower head was barely trickling water out. Even for a man who doesn't have much hair, it was not enough water to do a full shower. But with my hair, there's no way that that amount of water was going to accommodate washing anything. The shower has eco stamped on it, like it goes from 0 to eco. It doesn't go from 0 to eco to I really just want a shower. Eco is the full power. Even knowing that, we were like, this just can't be how it's supposed to work. So we went down to the guest services and they sent someone up to take a look at it. And we didn't go and ask them about it until around 7. So it had been a few hours. We left port, and when we had showered, the ship was not on. Or it was on, but like not at full power. And I'm sure a lot of people had just returned from the island and were getting showers and all that. So we have a theory that getting it water up to the 12th floor, everyone showering at the same time, we were just at like the end of the list of water delivery. So when maintenance came up and started working on it, it was way better water pressure. Well, then the other bathroom in here would not flush this morning. I got up at 5:30 or 6, would not do anything. And I mentioned the ship has not been on or moving. Like, we may have the power going, but it doesn't seem like the engines are running. I'm starting to think maybe the flushing is a problem, like the water and the flushing is a problem while the ship is not in full gear. We're gonna have to report it when we leave the room and see if they can fix it while we're away. I called and switched our dinner reservation time from 6 to 7 because I would like to finish dinner right before the show that's at 9 and go straight there. So we'll do our final night in the suite lounge, get our margaritas for dinner from there because they're free, and then take them over to Sabor to try their food. I don't remember exactly how Sabor worked on Allure, but I do remember what I ate. Like the ceviche, I know was so delicious. And I remember being really full by the time that we were done with food. So I'm going to either not eat anything until then or eat very light today because I would like to try their guacamole, their queso. They have 3 different types of tacos, I think, and burritos, quesadillas, 3 types of quesadillas. And it's an set price menu. So like you can order whatever you want off the menu. And I've read a few reviews that recommend not doing the sides. And I would agree with that based on what I had the last time. Like our sides, I think, were beans and corn on the cob. Just a waste of space, in my opinion, because there are so many other really interesting dishes that are not just like, I don't know if you've heard of Azteca, but that's the Mexican restaurant I think of from Washington, which is like Americanized Mexican food. These are very unique. One thing they have is stuffed jalapenos wrapped in bacon. That we're gonna try because I make them at home, but I usually stuff them with cream cheese. So I'd like to see what they do. It's just a really nice, quiet day out. tomorrow we have a disembarkation time of 9 o'clock, and we are just going to take a lift from the pier to the airport. And this really long 3 weeks, full 3 weeks, tomorrow will be 3 weeks since we left home, will be over, and we have 1 day to prepare for Christmas. So hopefully all these winter storms that are going on, like Texas is frozen right now, hopefully that doesn't impact our flight. We have a direct flight from Fort Lauderdale to Houston, but Houston's even frozen. And the upcoming trips we have planned, they're not really set in stone at this point. They are paid for and everything, but we may be changing. It's a lot happening. And there are 5 total cruises that we have on the books between January and the end of February. Anyway. So John has not lost everything at the casino, but his voucher that he just pulled out is, in my opinion, destroyed. But he believes that because you can see that number, it should be redeemable. So obviously we're not going to put that into a machine. We're going to have to go to the cashier and see if they can give him a new ticket. And what was it for? It was like $4?
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll let you know if that works. Then he still has about 10 minimum spins to win a jackpot with. Yeah, tell us what happened with your ticket.
So I went to the cashier. It was no big deal because you could read the number on the ticket number on there. She cashed it out, wrote the right number on there because she could pull it up. Wrote the number, $3.34. Gave me the cash. Good ticket.
Cool. Easy. We're back on deck. We're gonna go look if they're selling those pineapples because we saw them the other day and didn't grab one on our way back because we were so full. But if they're selling them today, I think we'll get one. And John really wants to get a UFO, so. We saw someone eating one at Guest Services, and he's inspired. Yep. Yeah. All right, here is my pineapple drink. It's freaking huge. And they give you a cutout for your straw. So the price of this, if you don't have a drink package, which we don't, is $13 with alcohol. And if you have a drink package, it's $9. So you're only paying $4 more without a drink package for this, which is, I think, one of the best drink pricing differences for non-packaged people that you find on the ship. Plus you get the fun, ridiculous pineapple. So anyway, I had him do a mix, so I think there is pina colada, strawberry, and mango frozen stuff in here. It's pretty good. Look at this! We got our first towel animal. Anna, it's so cute! And our disembarkation stuff, which is horrible. They're still calling me Emma Grace. Where did Emma Grace end up? Did she get upgraded to a better suite than our suite? She bid on a grand suite or something and we got this one. John said they fixed our toilet. So, yay! And then here is our pina cocktail. I'm outside of the pub. John went up to film the golf course and I came down here because I wanted to check out, they have this wine tasting today in Vintages. Princess charged $12 for John to go to the wine tasting that I went to as a complimentary perk of being elite. Guess the price of a wine tasting. I think you get 4 glasses here. And of course it's a tasting, it's not like full glasses. $35 per person. And then he said something about 25% off, but it's still $35. So I don't know if that's the discounted rate, but that is insane. You can buy 4 full glasses of wine for that price because it's like $9. Very brutal pricing. Anyway, John's gonna come down and meet me down here and we're gonna eat a very small snack. And we wanna eat now so that we are hungry enough at dinner, which will be in about 5.5 hours. This is unbelievably insane. There is not a single empty seat in this entire buffet. There are at least 1,000 people in here. And I guess they must be having lobster on the menu or something, because the line is hundreds of people long. It's 2 o'clock. I don't know. It's got to be lobster. I don't know what is going on. Okay, that's the main buffet. Now watch when we get around. This is just the salad, like salad line. It's not even the main buffet up here. These people are lined up out the door. I don't even know what for. It's insane. We are back in our cabin, and we weren't planning to do a major lunch or anything. We wanted to just go in the buffet and grab like a light salad and very easy lunch, but it was absolute chaos. I hate the buffet to begin with, but that was the busiest I think I've ever seen a buffet on a cruise ship. And I swear I saw someone with lobster tail on their plate. I mean, what are they thinking? There were no less than 1,000 people on that side. And then the other side was open too. And the line went from so you walk in and there's like a pre-Windjammer buffet, and the line there had 50 people in it on each side. Then you get into the actual buffet where they have all the meats and whatever else. I have never seen the buffet like that, and that's exactly what I feel in my mind when I even think of going to a buffet, is what it's going to be like. Could not get out of there fast enough. So, bringing me back to the perks of the suite, we came and ordered from the all-day menu. John got a Caesar salad and a Philly cheesesteak. I got chicken tenders and a grilled cheese. I can't even believe what we just experienced in there. And it's not noon. It is not lunch hour. It is 2:30. All right, our lunch just got here. It took about an hour. We have had the same LaToya bringing it to us every time we eat. She probably assumes we've ordered several times besides when she's delivered. We really haven't. But anyway, let me show you what we got. Here is the grilled cheese. John's Philly cheesesteak. Chicken tenders. We got this to save for later. And Caesar salad with chicken. Oh, nice. That looks really good. Got fries. We are processing our lunch. And while we were eating, they came on the intercom calling for a passenger from deck 6. And that was, I think, like a half hour ago. And they just came and called for them again, which is odd for them to be calling for passengers when it's not like leaving port or anything. And to be calling twice is like concerning. Hopefully everything is okay. We're on our way to the suite lounge. And then we have to come back and pack. We didn't think about that until 20 minutes ago. But if we do dinner at 7 and the show at 9, that's gonna put us beyond the 10 o'clock time. So, hi. So we need to do that before we go to dinner. We have we are making coffee, water, coffee, and margaritas. So this is just the standard margarita. I don't know if they make flavored or blended. I'm sure they make blended, but cheers. We are waiting on, John has a Cozumel Sunrise, which is a tequila-based drink that we're gonna take to the room while we pack. I already got mine, but I stirred it already. It came with like red at the bottom and then yellow at top. It's pretty good. It's better than the margarita, in my opinion. But I was telling John that I'm going into our dinner at Sabor a little bit like down on the whole experience because they're charging us $80 for two to have dinner there. And this is like a taco place. So that's just really ridiculous pricing considering that food, this should be an upcharge on the food you've already paid to eat. And how much food do you need to eat to justify paying $80 at a taqueria? You know, so keep that in mind when you hear my review of it because I'm thinking about the price and the value. All right, so here is the Cozumel Sunrise as it is delivered. Well, actually, as it's delivered, plus a shot of Patron on top. And this is it mixed already. So John's gonna show you what happens when you mix it.
Pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Cheers. Look at this. This is so crazy. Even, I mean, the sun portion of it, but then when we get over here, I'll show you the dark cloud. Wow. Okay, look. Okay, we have, you can see our two pool towels there still. We need to drop those off. John is putting his stuff together, almost done, with his happy stacks of folded clothes. My bag is already closed up, and you wouldn't want to see how it's organized anyway. But we're gonna have these done by the time we go to dinner so that we're not in any kind of rush. We don't have to hurry back. And we can spend our 2 full hours in Sabor trying to work up an appetite enough to justify being there at all. It is the last evening of our 3 full weeks away from home, and we're honestly ready to go home. Except it's going to be freezing in Texas when we get home, and we didn't bring clothing for frozen weather at all. But it's gonna be like 10 degrees in our town when we get home. I think we're pretty much done with events. We have a show at 9, production show that we want to go to. Honestly, I'm still full from lunch and I'm regretting that we booked the meal. I was really happy this cruise that we did not have specialty dining as part of our plan. I'm kind of burned out on just overeating every day. So this will be one last giant meal to hold us over until we get to Texas, and then we're going to go on a 40-day water fast if we know what's good for us. Have you enjoyed the cruising?
Yes, too much eating.
Way too much eating. Lots of fun though, lots of beaches, and we were talking about how it'll be nice to have the videos to look back over because all of it back to back makes it blur, and like our favorite moments we might have forgotten because we just have something happening immediately following each event. But one of my favorite things that we had during this trip was walking back to the ship in Playa del Carmen or Playa del whatever, and there were just flamingos there. I think that was the coolest surprise of the whole trip for me, and they are just so beautiful. And like, you see them on TV and you think you know what they will be like when you experience seeing one in real life, but they're way taller than I thought. They are just incredible. Their eyes are really, like, their pupils are tiny, but you just are like frozen in amazement when you see one in real life, or I was. So anyway, that was my favorite thing. Least favorite thing was dropping the ice bucket on my toe and bleeding all over the place, and John having to be a nurse. Okay, we'll see you at dinner. We have to leave. I think we're the first people to put our bags out though, so wow. Oh, 7 o'clock. Pool's closed. Ooh, I better get on the walk mat. So the line out here was pretty insane a couple hours ago. Now it's not bad. Modern Mexican. That's the board, and we thought this would be a really nice way to end the cruise since we haven't done any specialty dining on this ship. And so far I'm really impressed with the decor. I love that they have these 3D flowers on the ceiling as part of the whole design, which is a lot of flat flowers with a few popping right out. It's very pretty in here. There's the guacamole. It said made to order as we walked in. Chips. What do you think of the guacamole?
It's good. It's not very heavy on avocado, but the spices and the making it very good.
Yeah, I think the guacamole is good. We'll save some of that for our entree. I'm not a fan of that pico. I think it's just basically diced tomatoes. It's very bland in my opinion. There's no spice in that.
It's very mild. I'm pretty authentically Texan, but I have noticed that in the United States to the north, most people really don't know what to do with real guacamole, and so this is typically what is served. This is a very good non-Texas, non-Mexico guacamole. In Texas, when you make guacamole, it's mostly avocado, throw in some lime, salt, spices. This has a lot less solid avocado. I think anyone who's not from Texas or Mexico will say, "Oh my God, it's fantastic."
This is a queso and the bacon wrapped jalapenos and ceviche.
It's really good.
Does it have an orange flavor? It looks like there's orange peel in it.
Citrus, definitely. More heavily lime. Really good.
Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. That is crazy. Oh my god, this is so ridiculous. It's like spaghetti cheese. Wow. You gonna do any guac with it, or just try the cheese?
That's a good idea. We'll do a little bit of.
That's some of the most solid queso I've seen. I have the chicken tacos, and John has the shrimp. Here is a chicken taco and the shrimp taco side by side. They're really good, and something very spicy on there. And John thinks it's the crema, which it may be. My water has been empty for about 15 minutes, and John's pretty close. But so far the food is good, but just not worth what we're paying to be here. We've had our main dish for going on 10 minutes. We still haven't received the zucchini that we ordered as a side or the fries that we ordered as a side, and we're both out of water. John says the food's really good. I agree, it's good. It's just not worth what they're charging, and there is no excuse for us going without water for any period of time. And there has been nobody walking by that we can even ask. So They have some crew members here, like a table of 6, and we think maybe those are taking priority or something. I already knew I was going to be annoyed if anything went wrong in here because of the price they were asking, but water is really basic. Okay, we have the zucchini here, and the, what are these, like plantains with a hot mustard?
With a spicy mango.
We asked our waiter for water and for the sides, so he said they ran out of vegetable, and that's why we haven't received it yet.
This is actually pretty good. I know you don't like
They're plantains.
I think they are.
Our waiter knew that we liked the bacon wrap thing, so he brought a couple extra to apologize for the delayed service. So that was nice. I guess the dessert comes out all on like a bento box now, which is awesome. So coconut flan, crepes, churros, and then a coffee flavored something over there. Chocolate syrup and cream. So banana chocolate, is that what's in there?
Banana chocolate.
I think the churro is stale.
I like your demonstration of that with the thumping.
It didn't crack the plate, which was surprising.
Okay, this is pretty good.
That's a coffee flavored. Let's try this.
With this ice cream. It's really, really good. Not the prettiest, but it's definitely really pretty good.
Yeah. Well, we just finished our dessert, which was a lot. The production show starts in about a half hour. Since the Platinum Theater is right out here, I don't know why. I think I've been calling it the Palladium Theater. I've got to check if there was a Palladium Theater on one of our cruises that got stuck in my mind, or where the hell I got that from, because it's Platinum. But anyway, it's right out this door and at the front of the ship. Dinner was okay, not worth $80, and it's $80 plus an 18% gratuity. I don't know why I thought that was with the gratuity, so absolutely do not recommend that at the price that we paid. If you have the unlimited dining package or you get like a 30 or 40% discount, sure, book it. It's worth trying, but not at the price that we paid. Absolutely not. Show starts in 20 minutes, and we're in the reserved suite seating, which is obviously very popular.
But we went for the edge so we can...
People are clearly falling over themselves to attend an hour-and-a-half long show on the final night. I'm really not sure what's going on with the entertainment director on this ship, but we were talking earlier about the difference between the Jewel with Flavio, where everything was fun. He was in the stairwells dancing. If you got off that ship and you didn't know who Flavio was, you must have been in your cabin the whole time. I couldn't pick our entertainment director out of a lineup if they put him on stage tonight. I think that they need help with planning entertainment on this ship. Okay, I'm not totally insane. I just Googled Royal Caribbean Palladium Theater, and it's on the Grandeur. So that's where I got it in my head. And hopefully I've not been calling every theater that ever since. You let me know. But anyway, we're in the Platinum Theater tonight. I think the stage got stuck.
Reboot it.
Uh-oh. Well, that, I'm sure they're not going to continue the show. Oh wait, part of it has been pulled back now. It's a little bit of an improvement. Maybe they're going to resume. So we're 20 minutes into the hour and a half and the stage froze.
Hello everyone, good evening, how are you? Thank you very much for your patience at this time. As you can see, we're having a slight technical difficulty, so the team are working on it. Okay, if any of you believe in a higher force, now is the time to please ask for some help because we are working on it. At the moment, it looks like, fingers crossed, things might get working, but I don't want to confirm anything just yet. So please hold on if you can. As you can see, the bars are still open. And of course, as soon as I have any further information, I will be back out here to let you know. Alrighty? Fingers crossed, everybody. I'll see you soon.
They got the cruise director here pretty quick.
We're speaking to the powers up there. Thank you, it worked. ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands back together. Let's give them some energy. Put your hands together for the captain, 79 Regal!
Well, it's 10:05. Every time you go to a show and at the end they want you to give an applause to the behind the scenes tech people, this is a really good example of the stuff that they make sure doesn't happen, and that they were able to fix it and continue the show speaks to their skills. The behind the scenes people are awesome, and you don't notice them most of the time because they are doing their jobs. And this doesn't mean they weren't doing their jobs. This is a malfunction, but they were able to get it fixed again. And so every time you're clapping for them, you're appreciating that all that stuff goes unseen, because there is a whole lot of it behind the stage. We were just talking about a few things from that show. One thing that Royal should get a lot of credit for is how they designed that stage. Every scene would have a new thing drop down, and it was a flat panel, but it would create this perspective like you were in a whole new room, and it would have depth built into the flat screen. Yeah, John says forced perspective. One of the things that came down is a chain link fence, and it had this angle to it that made it look like you could walk into that chain link fence and it was a corner instead of a flat. It was really impressive, and they did that with several different scenes. And I think that a lot of the staging it's not like I'm used to on Princess, where you see people shuffling, running the thing off stage and bringing the next thing on. I think it's very much computer operated at this point. I assume that's what went wrong tonight, because the stage got stuck halfway in transition. The scheduling of the entertainment on the ship, I know I've been harping on that this whole time, but Quest is supposed to be the final night, because everyone gets wild on the final night. It's an hour, it's late, you've already put your luggage out, you can go let loose and just have a good time at Quest, and then you go to bed, and it's just the cherry on top of a cruise. I don't know why they did it on the second night, and it would have made a lot of sense to take the production from tonight and put that on the night that we did Quest, and put Quest tonight. Because people don't have an hour and a half to obligate themselves to a production show tonight when they need to get back to their cabins and pack and have their luggage out by 10. This show doesn't end until 10:30. And also, the last two nights, there has been nothing going on. No trivia, no karaoke, no anything, except for the repeat of the ice skating show after dinner and before the late night event. And then tonight, during the production show, hour and a half, they have 2 other game shows starting. So this started at 9, and then at I think 9:15, name that lyric or something, game show started, and then at 10 another one starts. I would like them scheduled in a way that you can go from one to the next, have this jam-packed fun night full of events, and then you go to bed worn out and like, what an awesome last day of the cruise. Tonight we end up, well, which one do we want to do? Which sounds best? And are we willing to give up 2 shows in order to see one? There's no reason for that when you could have put these other trivias or whatever on the last 2 nights when nothing was going on. Anyway, we have to be out of our cabin around 8 in the morning. Our disembarkation time is 9. I guess there's some kind of escort to help us off. We don't have a ship transfer to the airport, so we'll be taking a lift and then hanging out in the United Lounge. Hopefully there will be no delay on our flight. We're supposed to fly out around 3 o'clock. There are winter storms. Someone said it's Flightmare before Christmas. And yeah, tomorrow's the 23rd, so it's gonna be already, it's wild to be trying to travel that day, and we've known that for months, but figured that it would be worth it, and we did not account for another Texas freeze in our calculations, so I really hope that doesn't impact us. Fort Lauderdale with an amazing sunrise. Thunder, lightning, other ships in port. It's 7 a.m. right now. And we're having coffee before we get ourselves in gear. But oh my goodness, I cannot believe how beautiful. Good morning. It is 8 o'clock on disembarkation day, and we are just about to head out from our cabin. That cheesecake that we ordered yesterday became breakfast for us. Because, you know, go big or go home when you've been binging for 3 weeks straight. But the good news is I am wearing jeans that fit me when we left home. You know, the muffin top is strong, but they buttoned. So we've got that going. We're gonna get off of the ship and head to the airport, catching a lift for that. We have about 40 minutes until our time to disembark. When we thought we were 40 minutes ahead on Princess and got to the lounge, they were like, nope, everybody's getting off now, you're good. So that may be what happens. Otherwise, we're gonna go to Bolero's. I think that's a champagne bar or like a Bellini bar. And they should be offering us an escort off of the ship at 8:40. We had coffee here in our room, but if we wanted to, the final perk of the suite is we could go either to Breakfast and Chops Grill or to the Suite Lounge, and they have an espresso machine in there available for us until 9 a.m. Wish us luck on our flight and that we have no delays getting home, and we'll see you on our next cruise, which should be in just a few weeks. 8 a.m. disembarkation morning. Good morning, Henry. Thank you, Rod.
All right. Have a safe trip home.
Thank you. Have a good day and Merry Christmas. Good morning. You have your CPAS card?
Yeah.
So it says go to, wow, it's rainy.
Yeah.
It says go to the lounge, but I think we just go to Bolero's. This may be where the sweet passengers are meeting. I think we just missed the current departure. Let's see. We see people disembarking that way, and we were thinking about just letting ourselves off, but then we realized maybe there is some special bypassing of the other lines once you get off of the ship. So we're going to see what it's like to use this departure lounge, since it's a once, maybe in a lifetime opportunity for us to discover it, and then we'll let you know if there is any point in waiting. But here comes the concierge. So, oh, wow.
CPAS card ready only. CPAS card in your hand, please.
Thank you. We're outside of the terminal waiting for a lift. Our first driver got up to security and gave up, canceled on us. So we've been out here for about 25 minutes. And I probably would have picked the flat rate, which they charge $11 per person to go to the airport from here. But it's the sign for that is right as you exit. And if you're going to a lift, they shuttle you as fast as they can down here. So now it's like we'd have to swim upstream of 1,000 people to get back to the flat rate. So we'll wait for our lift. There was a benefit of using the suite lounge to disembark because our concierge took us straight out of the ship and right into the front of the line for disembarkation, and so we probably were able to cut in front of 150 or 200 people, which was definitely worth it.
We're helping you forget about the stress of your day. Stress-free mood. It just makes me feel really happy. How bad can it be? We live in South.
We just got here. It's 9:20, and they don't take bags. I knew this from other Florida experience. You can't check your bag until 4 hours before the takeoff, and our flight leaves at 3. So we can't check our bags until 11. Maybe we'll check if there is an earlier flight. Okay, it is about 10:15, and we figured out the solution to not being able to check our bags. We were gonna have to sit out there in the pre-security area for at least an hour and a half. But I opened the app and I checked for trip options, and it had the option to go standby for an earlier flight, which leaves in an hour and a half. there are 0 available seats on it, but by selecting that free option, they gave me a boarding pass for a flight that leaves in an hour. We both checked our bags, and now at 10:15, we're on the other side of security. Bags are taken care of. They may arrive in Texas before we do, but that's fine. I'd actually prefer that because then we just go claim them at the counter when we land. This is a pretty insane boarding experience today. The queue for security is so long that the entire pre-set up line area is full, and then it snakes all the way across the entire airport, wraps around, and snakes all the way back before you can get in. It's wild. I think everyone from the buffet yesterday came here and is in TSA now. I didn't think I saw any food here. Oh, where is all that? Oh.
And there's kind of table seating if we want it, but
No, I think this is good. So the first flight that we went on standby for is supposed to be in the air now, but it arrived like 30 minutes late, and we keep getting updates that it's boarding, but we were like 20th in line for the standby, which is funny because when I started the process of signing up for it, we would be 5th and 6th in line. So by the time I got through the app doing that, like 10 more people already had done it. Anyway, on the ride over here, we ended up canceling our Lyft because it was an insane backup at the entry and Lyft drivers couldn't get through. So we did this like flat rate, $11 per person to the airport van. And I was seated next to a woman who started telling me she's from Seattle. She works for Royal Caribbean, and they move her from ship to ship to get costumes if they bring new people on, which she said they had like 4 or 5 new performers for the ice skating show on the Liberty this week, which you would never know by watching it. They were so fantastic. But they bring her on board to resize the costumes because they use the same costumes, they just sew them to fit the next people that need them. She said she's been at sea for about 3 months. She was on the Jewel of the Seas working when we were on it, and then they moved her to the Liberty. She's going back to Seattle for a few weeks, and then she's flying Serenade of the Seas is her next one. I told her that we saw the show last night, the late one, and the stage broke, and she was like, oh yeah, that's kind of a known problem. It happened last week, and it's like a recurring thing. When I said this show was interrupted for a malfunction, she was like, oh yeah, the stage didn't transition all the way. Unfortunately, they deal with that a lot. But the early show she went to, and she said it went off without a hitch. So very interesting. And they just came around with pecan pie. How awesome. All right, well, so far our plane says it's on time. It arrived from its last location 8 minutes early. So fingers crossed. We're a few minutes late for boarding, but it is group 1 and 2 now. And then I think we go into group 1's line after they're gone. We're on the plane. I'm in the middle. Someone is booked on that chair. That is everyone here to claim bags from the current flight, but ours left on the early standby plane that we had, so it's here in information services. John's kind of looking over that way, so hopefully it's easy to find and we will be on our way in just a few minutes. Okay, that only took a couple of minutes. Now we're gonna head out and get our car and go celebrate Christmas. Thanks for coming with us, and we'll see you again in a few short weeks.